And the Zone.
Bailey Custom Boats. We knew our boats were special when we would stop at any outdoor store to stock up on supplies for a boat trip, only to come back out to the parking lot and see people standing on and around our boat and a confused sales rep telling them it's not for sale and they don't even have that type of boat. Fast forward a few years, and now you can buy your very own one-of-a-kind Bailey Custom Boat. We hand cut our wood from cypress we pull from the river in Mississippi. There's a lifetime warranty on the bill, faster and more maneuverable like a ski boat, and better fuel mileage than any pontoon on the market. With 350 horsepower, a Bailey Custom Boat will go 0 to 60 in about 6 seconds, and our custom boats are Coast Guard approved for offshore and virtually unsinkable. We'll be showcasing our custom boats at different lakes over the next few weeks. Find out where at BaileyCustomBoats.com, on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. We're taking orders now for 2023 delivery from April to May. You gotta pay to play. BaileyCustomBoats.com.
AVIQ. Who is AVIQ? AVIQ is audiovisual the intelligent way, where we put our IQ to work for your AV needs. With more than 100 years combined experience in audio, video, and automation, our team of experts is dedicated to one thing: helping you discover technological solutions that make your home special. Once you experience a game or a movie on one of our state-of-the-art home theater systems, you may never leave the house again. AVIQ can build the entire system for you or provide the quality components if you're a do-it-yourselfer. But AVIQ is more than just home theater and state-of-the-art sound systems. We offer a variety of control options for home technology. Energy efficiency, heightened security, and improved quality of life are all attainable through the automation of home systems. Intuitive and user-friendly control is our main priority in designing a system that meets your needs. Don't just take our word for it. You need to see it to believe it. Come visit us at our state-of-the-art showroom on University, just east of Jim and Nick's, across from AT&T, or visit aviqhsv.com.
At Bryant Bank, we believe your goals are worth chasing, and every step along the way is worth celebrating. From your hopes for the future to the challenges that keep you up at night, we're here for you. Bryant bankers put care into action to help you live legendary by stepping up when you need us most and doing what's right, even when no one is watching. Come experience a local bank whose people greet you by name and treat you like family. Bryant Bank, member FDIC.
Great food and the best live entertainment is what it's all about at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill. Head to downtown Huntsville every Tuesday for karaoke on the only outdoor karaoke stage in North Alabama. Thursday night is the Valley's longest running and biggest bike night. Food and drink specials, giveaways, and live music on the patio. And the Furniture Factory menu is fully loaded with options from steaks to salads, plus a whole lot more. Featuring a weekday happy hour that starts at 3. 619 Meridian Street, downtown Huntsville, and online at FurnitureFactoryBarGrill.com.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, managing partner at University Kia, here letting you know we are proud supporters of Madison Academy football. Stop into the University Kia today and shop our large selection of new Kias, including the all-new Telluride 8-passenger SUV, the stylish new K5, and sporty new Seltos. Visit universitykia.com to view all our great offers and get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia today, because we want to see you in a Kia. Go Mustangs!
Big TO guy.
GJ and Max, followed by Greeny. Mornings on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
I hear you wanted to watch La Liga this season. Well, you can get every single game in English or Spanish on ESPN+.
This is Paul Feinbaum. That'll do it for me today. Coming up next, The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This hour is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, Alabama's F-150 Superstore. Welcome to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, 256-576-4977.
That's how I roll. And I'm not going to drink and drive anymore.
That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Wes and Steve.
You can sit wherever you'd like. Put me in program 1 only, please. Thank you very much. As we're live here at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill. How are you, Wes Neighbors?
I'm doing good.
Boy, Wolverine Dan comes in like he owns the joint.
Well, I know it. He came in. They got Michigan beating Ohio State on one of the TVs up there.
Yeah.
That fired him out. Then he said Michigan's winning the national championship. You said that Texas A&M was picked by the same guy. He said Michigan.
Yeah.
I think they'll probably play an Outback Bowl.
Desmond Howard did have Michigan going to the college football playoff, but had Texas A&M winning the whole darn thing.
Well, I have Texas A&M playing Michigan in the Outback Bowl.
Coming up on the program today, we're live here at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill. I don't know if you heard him yesterday, but he spoke. The Miami defensive coordinator spoke in Miami, getting ready to take on Texas A&M in a couple of weeks.
A lot of really good games. LSU playing Florida State right away.
The Miami defensive coordinator is a guy by the name of Kevin Steele, the former Auburn interim coach, the former Tennessee
he almost went to Maryland.
Coach. Did he really?
Yeah. He was up at Maryland for 2 weeks. He actually went to Maryland.
I thought you might enjoy a little bit of Kevin Steele today after talking with the media. Let me quickly look to see who Miami has this week. If I can pull up my handy-dandy ACC roster. Miami is at home to the Wildcats of Bethune-Cookman coming up on Saturday. That comes up 2:30 Central Time on the ACC network. So plan accordingly for you Miami Hurricane fans out there. So what say you, Kevin Steele?
First, I don't even know who's at quarterback out there when we're practicing, much less who's at wide receiver, running back. Really, we're watching what our guys do. And so I don't know why Coach said that. I appreciate him saying it. But anyway, we have progressed. I think our understanding of leverage tackling and using each other, what we call buddy tackling. One-on-one tackles in a space game is a hard way to make a living. And so how do you do that? Schematically, you understand where your help is. You understand where the sideline is, because the sideline's never missed a tackle in any game, ever. And then through effort, you get other people to the ball. That's, I think that has helped us in our development as much as anything. A scheme's a scheme. There's a lot of schemes out there. And really, to be quite frank with you, we used to laugh in another place I was. You turn on and watch other people, and because of one particular coach in that league had so many disciples coaching in that league in different roles, from Todd Grantham, me, Will Muschamp, Kirby Smart, just on and on. You'd want to turn on the film to steal ideas for somebody, and it was the same stuff you were doing. So my point to that is scheme is scheme. You got to have players that understand it. You got to understand the fundamentals and the simplistic fundamentals of it. It still comes back to effort and technique and tackling.
Coach, so there you go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Buddy tackling.
Well, you better get there. You better get as many people you can there. It's hard for one guy to get a guy down. That's why you got to hustle to the ball. You never know if you don't hustle that you don't make it to the ball. So,
one other soundbite from the Miami defensive coordinator, Kevin Steele.
That was that. I mean, I think probably the biggest thing, if you just peeled it all back, yes, I mean, the competitiveness of it and the drive to win, but probably the biggest thing for me is to see the look on a young man's face when he struggled with something or he's had adversity and he bought in and listened and applied it and was successful, and see the look on his face. That's a big win. That's a big win. And I think it's not to get philosophical. I think it's really more than just about football at that point. Then he learns things when he's 35, 45, when you've got to struggle through things, or you've had some adversity, or that play didn't go well, how to go to the next play. That's pretty rewarding. So that's a real personal question you asked me. I gave you a personal answer. That's what drives me, to their look on their face when they get it. When they get it.
That is Kevin Steele.
Well, we talk about it all the time. That these guys are expected to do so much, and they're and it doesn't go right, and all of a sudden you have they'll their junior year, all of a sudden something will snap, and they get it. They just start feeling it. They start going at different speed. Mm-hmm. They're stronger, they're faster, and they know what to do, and they get better. Just like Jalen Hurts is starting quarterback in the NFL, and most everybody said that he was going to play wide receiver. He wasn't good enough to play quarterback. And people get better. That's why you're working so hard.
I went perusing through game notes and found a couple of ridiculous statistics. This first up, Florida is a home underdog. Florida is a home underdog this weekend to the Utes of Utah. The last time Florida was an underdog in a season opener in the Swamp was September 20th, 1969 against Houston. Florida won that contest and went on to finish with a 9-1-1 record with a Gator Bowl victory over SEC champ Tennessee that year.
I will tell you this. They might beat Utah, but they're not going 9-1-1.
That other one's hard to do in this day and age. Nick Saban is 24-2 all-time in home openers. His 4 stops as a head coach. He currently has a 21-game winning streak. And the last time Nick Saban lost a home opener, 1998, when Michigan State fell to Colorado State 23-16. 1998. And one other statistic, and I was kind of floored by this to give you some perspective. Auburn has had 31 players taken in the first round of the draft in the history of Auburn University, which is a very substantial number. Since 2009, Nick Saban has had 41 players drafted in the first round of the NFL draft.
Yeah, I mean, it's
crazy.
It's all about developing players. That's what they've done. I mean, it's just not you have to have talent, and you develop them. There you go. And you got to be willing to do both, and the kids got to buy in, and some of all of it.
Your total wins. The 5 o'clock is a little tardy. We're live here at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill. Your total wins from the last 4 seasons in the Southeastern Conference. No great surprise, Alabama number 1, 51 wins over the last 4 seasons. Second on the list is Georgia at 45. Then LSU checks in with 36 wins, followed by who you think is 4th? I've gone Bama, Georgia, LSU.
Florida?
Florida is 4th at 35 wins. 5th has 34 wins, just 1 win behind Florida. And that is our friends in Texas at Texas A&M with 34. Then Kentucky checks in with 33 wins over the last 4 seasons. Then Auburn checks in with 29 wins. Vanderbilt has had 11 wins the last 4 seasons. That does not include
They have no wins the last 2 seasons.
That does not include Saturday. No, this is wins period across the board, not just conference play. Georgia, I mentioned 51 on that list, and Kirby Smart was asked about playing in Atlanta and would like to play twice in Atlanta.
Yeah, I love playing in this game because, number one, it's in Atlanta. Number two, I like playing in it because I think they do a tremendous job. It's an unbelievable venue. your hope is you're back in the stadium and you've gotten a chance to play in it once already when it comes to the SEC championship game. So that has a lot to do with it. But just in general, I think playing a big-time opponent opening, whether that's home and home, whether that's neutral sites, that I just think it fires up your fan base. It fires up your all-season workouts. And some people do it, the second game of the year. To me, it's a great opportunity to go out and schedule opponents that get your fan base and your team excited to play. So that's, when we scheduled this one a while back, we knew the kind of team that Oregon was going to have, and we expect to have that same kind of team, so it makes for a great matchup.
That is Kirby Smart yesterday talking to the media, and a lot on Kirby Smart's plate, although there is definitely there's not a debate as to who the starting quarterback is at the University of Georgia.
It will be after the first game they lose.
Probably after the first incompleted pass.
Yeah, it'll be after him.
So we shall see. Dan Lanning, incidentally, is one of the younger head coaches heading into this campaign, but there is certainly a tie between Dan Lanning and Kirby Smart that takes you back to Tuscaloosa.
Well, I think the first part of that is I had a great relationship with Dan when he worked at University of Alabama and had a lot of respect for the way he went about his job. He didn't try to be somebody he wasn't. He didn't try to impress people. He just worked and he grinded, and he really did a good job of just doing what you asked him to do. And I always thought he would be successful. He helped recruit while he was there, and when we had a job come open, it was I think Kevin Sherry ended up leaving, and it ended up being a no-brainer for us to bring Dan in because I knew the value he had, number one, of knowledge, number two, of being around me. I was very comfortable with him, and he had more experience. So then when we had an opportunity to hire him as coordinator, I knew he was going to do a great job. Schumann was here at that time as well, and he and Schumann were really neck and neck the whole time, and both took on the responsibilities. Dan would be the first to tell you he would have never had the success here he had it not been for Glenn Schumann. And that's what made the transition easier when Dan left, was the fact that felt comfortable that Glenn would be able to take it over and do it along with Will. So it's always great when you got two guys that know the system and two guys that can share that responsibility.
That again, Kirby Smart. Incidentally, as I mentioned, Dan Lanning, one of the younger head coaches in college football. He is 36, along with Marcus Freeman, Sean Lewis, who is the head coach at Kent State, and Kane Womack is the youngest head coach in college football. He is down at South Alabama in charge of the Jaguar program down there. But youngins getting their opportunity early in college football. Now, the ESPN FPI put out the best chances to win the college football playoff. Alabama checks in number one to win the college football playoff at a 30% clip, followed by Ohio State at 28%. Georgia checks in at 25%. Clemson at 10%, and Notre Dame at 3%. The FPI loves them some Irish.
They have all their bunch of returning players. So, although the coaches aren't returning, it's going to be interesting to watch Notre Dame this year. I think they opened with Ohio State, right?
17.5-point underdog on the road.
Yeah, I think that'll go to 0% after the first game. So, there you go.
We're live here at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill, and it's a special night here at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill.
Absolutely. Have the, I want to say A Club. It's not the A Club. It's just the Alumni Association is here.
Now, here, I thought you were going to say it was because I was here.
No, but you're always here, so it's always special.
I'm just old news.
Well, you got some good earrings on now, though.
Uh-oh.
Am I on?
Yes. Yes.
See, it's these things. They don't do anything for my hair or my earrings. But in the spirit of Alabama alumni, I actually wore these football earrings.
I like
and
them.
I am not an Alabama fan, but I did that in the spirit of
So who are you a fan of?
I'm Mississippi State.
Mississippi. Oh, that's
Hail
right.
State.
I
Hail
knew that.
State.
Hail State.
Oh no! Wait a minute. Let's put a little dog in it, right? Remember?
Whoop, whoop. Who let the dogs out? Whoop, whoop, whoop. Don't get me started.
So are you a pirate? Do you have a pirate outfit too?
Oh, I got it all when it goes, down that way.
Yeah.
But this way, boy, I was really stressing. I mean, I was running all over town trying to find me something to wear in red because I don't own a single thing in red. Nothing.
You're a Mississippi State fan. It's not so
It's
different.
maroon.
Yeah, maroon.
Yeah.
Maroon and white.
When a maroon is a shade of red.
Wow.
No.
Wow.
It's blue and purple and just a tinge. Moving along, we do have the Alabama Alumni Association, and it is a packed-out little place here.
Yes, a lot of
for a
people will be
Tuesday
here.
night.
Yeah, and the band. We heard the band last year. They start at 7.
They're great. They
They're
do.
really
the
good.
Woodpeckers, they're great.
The Woodpeckers.
Yes.
With one of our sponsors, Dan Aldrich, is one of the.
That's right.
One of the pickers.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
It's just a great little place to be tonight. I've never seen so much red and white in all my life. It's kind of a sea of that tonight.
Crimson and white.
So, hey, it's a great place to be. We're going to serve a great meal. Tonight it's meatloaf, mac and cheese, baked beans, banana pudding. Doesn't that sound good?
Oh,
Does sound good.
So if anybody
I'm all in with all that.
Aren't you? Are you an Alabama fan?
Yes, he is. His daughter is.
Well.
He's a Georgia fan.
Oh.
Go Dogs.
Yeah. So.
See, you know the same songs I know. Anyway. It's a great night to be here. We're still going to have karaoke, but we're going to listen to the band and have some good food and all that before we get that karaoke started.
I hear both bars are open tonight as
We've
well.
got it all open tonight.
I think there are 3 bars open, actually.
We do. We got all 3 of them open, so we've got room for all to come tonight. So
come on
sounds
by.
like a great place to be because we're still doing Mexican, just so you know.
Yeah. So what else is going on this week?
Okay, yeah, I better keep on moving and quit yapping my jaw. So let's see. Oh yeah, Wednesday. Oh! Have you
This
ever
is
been
tomorrow.
To
Yeah.
the Dwarfinators wrestling.
Oh yeah, I've been. I actually have been.
Yes.
And those guys are really talented.
And they're good at what they do. And
They're really
funny.
good. They
it's
are
like
really
a
good.
Comedy act.
Yeah. It's really good. Yeah.
Yes, that's tomorrow night. That's something a little different.
That is different.
And we're going to have a big old stage right out in the middle. It's going to be a beautiful night. Come on out and see some dwarf wrestling.
There you go.
Does that sound good?
Well, yes.
It's
It
a little
does.
different.
It's fun. I've been, and those guys, I've talked about this before. First 10 minutes, I was ashamed of being there. The next hour and a half, I was just totally in awe of how athletic those guys are.
Mm-hmm.
It's unbelievable.
They're good at what they do.
Yeah, they really are.
So that's tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
Y'all have done that before on Sundays.
Yes, but we thought we'd bring them in midweek. It was getting a little ho-hum, so we needed to shake it up a little bit.
Yeah, that'll shake it up.
No, don't you think?
Wednesday night showdown.
There you go. So we've got that. Then we've got Chris Bell on Thursday night for Bike Night. So he's great. They're a little band from Nashville. So everybody needs to come on and listen to them. They're good. Friday night, Plan B. That's our local band, so that's going to be good. Saturday, we got Hell's Bells, AC/DC.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that going to be good?
That is good.
So everybody needs to come see that if they like rock and roll. Good old 70s rock and roll.
Yeah.
That's not my night, but I know it's a lot of people's night. I'm just saying. I don't turn the radio on and go, I just think I'm going to listen to that. But it's a great show.
I used to listen to Hell's Bells when I came out of the tunnel. When we walk around the
Bama
stadium.
comes out to it.
Yeah, but I used to come out to it.
Well, no, Bama comes out to Thunderstruck.
Thunderstruck, yeah.
That's right.
I listened to that. It was right after Hell's Bells. But I would listen to that when I was walking around just trying to envision what the game was going to be like.
Well, no wonder I don't really like them that much, but they are a fantastic band. We're going to have a great night, lots of sold-out tables. We got a fun week.
It will be a great week.
Yeah.
Yes, it will.
Aren't you glad you're here?
And it's already starting to fill up out here.
Oh, yeah, well, this is...
Just think, now you got your
this
choice
is
of meatloaf or
just the
Mexican.
beginning. That's right.
You can have a little meatloaf or a little Mexican or a little
Actually,
bit of
you
both.
probably mix it.
There you
Probably
go.
really good.
And you just add a
Mexican meatloaf.
There's no question. Little chili reno on top of a meat piece.
Okay.
That sounds like
And you add a little
right up
shot, and then it just tastes better. How's that?
Thank you, Jen.
Thank you, Jen.
You're welcome.
Oh, Jen, tell folks how to contact you Well, she's done.
Yeah, she's out.
So she's already put the headset down and was like, if you need more information on the Furniture Factory, go to the website, FurnitureFactoryBarGrill.com.
I didn't even ask her. She's so fired up because there's so many people here.
Yeah.
But the couches in the little areas they have, the VIP areas, are they available for Saturday?
This is a great place to watch some college football, and there's plenty of it this weekend. And don't forget the brunch as well on Sundays here at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill. Coming up on the program today, we're going to talk some NFL/college football with Sean Salisbury on loan from Sports Radio 790 in Houston. We're also going to talk some Auburn football with Nebias Wilborn coming up in about 20 minutes' time. Certainly your phone calls are welcome at 256-576-4977. Let's go ahead and take an early timeout. We've got plenty to get to here on this edition of The Drive. We'll be back.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You know that your car or truck or SUV may be worth up to 30 or 40% more than it was last year? It's true. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, and now is the perfect time to trade in, trade up to a gold certified or blue certified pre-owned car, truck, SUV, or crossover. While our new vehicle inventory continues to build back, our Ford Blue Advantage certified pre-owned vehicles are nearing 100 models to choose from, and a good variety too. Woody Anderson Ford Gold certified vehicles are 6 years or younger with less than 80,000 miles and have passed 172-point inspection by factory certified technicians. They have a 14-day, 1,000-mile money-back guarantee, a great comprehensive limited warranty, 24-hour roadside assistance, and go home with full tank of gas and a fresh oil change. Get nearly a new ride and none of the worries. Woody Anderson Ford, Jordan Spartman. Hope to see you soon.
Not looking or feeling your best? No energy for the things you like to do? Ready to look and feel younger? Make your appointment at Advanced Life Clinic, one of the region's foremost destinations for patients interested in looking and feeling their best. Specializing in advanced laser treatments and weight loss, male and female rejuvenation to offset the effects of aging, and more. See how Advanced Life Clinic can help you enjoy your life again. Call 256-882-6555 or log on advancedlifeclinic.com.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
Make your garden twice as big this summer and get twice the harvest. Right now, get 2 Bonnie plants, 2.32 quart vegetable and herb plants for only $10. Their ready-to-grow starter plants make growing vegetables and herbs at home easier than ever before. Make your garden twice as big this summer and enjoy homegrown fresh vegetables and herbs with Bonnie plants, 2 for just $10. Feels like 4th of July savings at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Selection varies by store, in-store only, not available offshore or Alaska.
This is Wes Neighbors talking to Chris Haygood of Bob Wallace Appliance. Chris, what sets you apart from other appliance dealerships?
Wes, these appliances are going into the most used room in your house, your kitchen. The way we have these appliances displayed, it's easy for you to visualize how they'll look in your home. Wes, what sets us apart is the people. They're well trained. In fact, they live and breathe these appliances. And if you need service, you'll really appreciate our parts department.
Contact Bob Wallace Appliance at 256-533-2121.
Hi, my name is Dan Aldridge. I'm here to let you know about the Aldridge Law Firm and the soon-to-be-announced Legal Town Center. I've been practicing law in Alabama since 1984, and I also practice in Tennessee. And I'm from North Alabama, and I'm here to represent you and take care of your legal needs. For many of us, hiring an attorney is not high on the priority list and maybe a little scary. but it's something that we all need at some point. So by all means, do your homework. And if you need representation for car accident, wrongful death, medical malpractice, nursing home abuse, or estate planning, or any other matter, just give us a call at 256-534-3188, and you can email me at Dan, that is Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. God bless America.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
This segment of The Drive is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, located online at woodyAndersonFord.com with 2 locations, Hughes Road in Madison and Jordan Lane in Huntsville.
Back here at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill, week 1 of the college football season is upon us. Get ready for the majesty that is the defending Big Ten champs, the Michigan Wolverines, as they play host to the Rams of Colorado State. Coach Jim Harbaugh met with the media. So exactly what is your plan, Coach, on the quarterback?
Yes, we're not going to, it's like you don't withhold, something good that can help the football team. So, yes, I can see that.
He was asked if both quarterbacks would play.
I can't see it other than a good thing. It's and they're actually both playing their best football since they've been here. Cade is arguably one of the most improved players on the team. And he's playing his best football. I mean, JJ did not have spring practice, but he's ascended to to where he's at based on his performance. So that's a really good thing. And I mean, there's no demotion for Cade McNamara. He's playing his best football. It is a promotion for JJ. Based on what he's been able to do as well.
What say you, Wolverine Dan?
Well, I love to talk about my Michigan Wolverines, but I'll tell you what. Was that a politician or was that a coach? I'm not sure.
A little bit of both.
Yeah, a little bit of both. Yeah, I'm not crazy about that. But you know what? We'll see how it is. Our schedule is always light in the beginning, and then toward the end, that's what it all comes down to. And then last year we didn't fall on our face. Previous years we did. So it is what it is. But
was that Love Child getting on Michigan's statement on Michigan's schedule?
That was Tom Abraham.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, so I took my headset up. I had somebody. Yeah. I'm gonna have a lot of people I know I have to say hello to.
Well, the schedule's not tough. I understand that. I get it. But you know what? It all ends at the same time every year. You got to beat the opponents that are good. So we'll see how it plays out. Light in the beginning, heavy in the end. Now, with that said, fellas, I'm excited about Mark Camara here owning the Furniture Factory. This place is hopping. They got some kind of Bama party, so I showed up there. I'm here with my wife, Ginger, eating dinner, and I go over there, and they said, you Bama? And I showed her my phone, had a Michigan logo, and she says, you sit in the back, way in the back. Get out. Yeah, basically, not much.
And you're right next to us.
Right next to you.
This is prime seating right here.
Well, I'm getting out of that pretty soon because these Bama people can kick me out. But anyway.
No, they're going to kick you out. They might try to convert you.
No, I'm not SEC guy. But you know what I will say? Let's talk about Mark. First off, Wes has got a really nice plate. Chicken.
See, I don't out him like this.
Oh, I do. Yeah. It looks really nice. And Mark, I'm going to tell you what. Mark not only knows how to run a restaurant, but he knows how to run a golf course. And I'm saying his son, I can't remember his son's first name.
Johnny.
And he's doing a great job. And speaking of Southern Gales, I'm going to tell you what. The course has never been in this shape. Fairways, your ball sits up nice and high. There's really no brown grass anywhere. And the greens are coming around. He's harvested a bunch of timber, and he looks like he's going to be putting some big homes in this place, and there's plenty of room. This course, get it now, because it's going to go up later on, money-wise, because it's going to be sharp. He's got a grill clubhouse with a grill and everything. I tell you what, he knows how to do this. Mark does a good job. And tonight, the food looks great. I just had the meridian salad and some, what do you call those things? Wisconsin cheese curds. They're really good. He's got a little spice on them. They got a band going right now. They got a party looking Bama everywhere. If you're a Bama fan, you need to come down right now because there's a lot of people here digging it, dressed in Bama gear. I never seen someone houndstooth in my life, to be honest with you. But I'll tell you what, this place is great.
And how you've been here over 2 decades, and now is that statement you've never seen as much houndstooth as tonight?
Yeah, I kind of lied. You see it everywhere. I mean,
It's
I'm
everywhere.
Bama Nation. Well, hey, they got something to brag about. I mean, I told you I'm not crazy about the team, but I respect it. I mean, crying out loud, 18 national championships. This the coach has won 2 different teams.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got Bear Bryant. I mean, come on, how much history you need, okay? And so anyway, I'm getting ready to get off here, but I do want to say your Hall of Fame announcer, Eli Gold, my best wishes.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say. I mean, that when I lost my guy, Ernie Harwell on Tigers, or Bob Ufer for Michigan, man, that's just like family. You listen to him on the radio sound actually does better, I think, if you got a guy that knows what he's doing than you watch on TV. So, yeah, my best wishes to him. And you guys, thank you so much. Food looks great. Everything's great in here, guys. Go to the golf course. I'm telling you, this golf course is packed up. The parking lot's never been that packed since I've been there for what? I've been here 25 years. I've never seen a parking lot that packed. The course is in good shape.
What did you hit?
Hit what?
I mean, what was your score?
I was just shy of 80. No, excuse me. I'm shy of high 80s. I was in the low 90s. So I don't know. I can't remember. That was like 4 weeks ago.
Nothing wrong with that.
I can't remember it yesterday, for crying out loud.
Everybody remembers every golf score.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wes, you remember yours?
I remember yours last time. We added it up, and you had the wrong score down. We were at Baumhauer's. Remember?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Well,
it's that Georgia math that'll get you every.
My education is not good.
I think it was the Budweiser.
Is that what that was? No, that hurts my stomach. Bud Light's better. Anyway, fellas, this place is hopping. If you're a Bama fan, come on down, man. There is a lot of going on in this, patio? Backdoor patio is loaded. Yeah. It looks like a lot of fun. So, anyway, go blue, and I'm excited for this season.
All right.
See you.
Thank you, Dan. Everybody has a little bigger pep in their step because I think we're alpha week 0.
That's right. We're on to week 1. In case you did not see it, and I guess you didn't, from over the weekend, the college football playoff predictor, Desmond Howard, had Texas A&M, Pittsburgh, Baylor, and Michigan all heading to the college football playoff. Texas A&M taking on Michigan, and Texas A&M winning the college football national championship. By far, he was the one guy of the 4 or 5 that did not pretty much go status quo, because entering into this season, just taking a look at the numbers, I mean, it's quite obvious a lot of the usual suspects have been to the college football playoff. Bama has been there 7 times, Clemson 6 times, and both Ohio State and Oklahoma have each been to the playoff 4 times as well. Bryce Young secured another Heisman Trophy under Nick Saban. That's 4 now.
That's unbelievable.
During his tenure. And it's unreal to think about the kind of streak that the Crimson Tide are on. Your Caesars Sportsbook to win the college football playoff. Bama at a plus 180. Ohio State at a plus 300. Georgia at a plus 425. Clemson at a plus 1,000. If you're looking for some value out there, maybe.
I don't know who. I don't think Texas A&M has a prayer. to be in the national championship
because
game.
of their schedule.
Their schedule, and they lost a lot of people. You got to remember, this was a team that couldn't even play in the bowl game
because of numbers.
So I can't fathom them winning the national championship with this team. Now, talk to me next year. But all those guys that came in are freshmen.
Yes.
So it's hard to win with freshmen. You got to play Alabama in Tuscaloosa. That means if you lose that game, you're done. Because I don't think Alabama will lose 2 games. And they would have to, right, for them to make it to the West.
Yeah, correct. Sean Salisbury is going to join us at the top of the hour. We will head into Braves baseball, most likely joined in progress as the Braves begin a homestand tonight against the Colorado Rockies, as Max Fried is on the mound tonight for the Braves, and you'll be able to hear that. Incidentally, it's game number 130 tonight for the Braves. Home game number 67.
So can announcers get NIL deals? I wonder if Texas A&M gave him an NIL deal to say that.
I don't know. But coming up next, we're going to talk some Auburn football. Nebias Wilborn got a couple of looks as soon as I said Auburn football here at the Furniture Factory. It's like I'm surrounded by Bama fans. Let's go ahead and take our final timeout as Nebias Wilborn joins us next as we're live here at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Hi, everybody. Eli Gold here. Right now, indoor air quality occupies top-of-mind awareness for families and business owners. Rick Smith and the trusted professionals at Environmental Comfort Systems can take care of your indoor air quality concerns with their state-of-the-art indoor air quality solutions. Environmental Comfort's indoor air quality systems remove 99.9% of airborne contaminants so you and your family can breathe clean, fresh air. If anyone in your family suffers from allergies, or if you just want the security of knowing the air you breathe inside your home is free from viruses, bacteria, pet dander, dust, and odors, Environmental Comfort Systems are the professionals to call. Environmental Comfort also carries state-of-the-art, high-efficiency comfort systems that increase home comfort, keep humidity in check, and help you save money on your energy bills. Give my friend Rick a call or visit them online at envcomfort.com and breathe cleaner air today. Environmental Comfort Systems, Alabama license number 92314.
The 2 words we live by. The coach we follow. All right, blow the horn. Let's go. The famous call we love to hear. Touchdown, Alabama! It's good to be a Bama fan. Join us Saturday, September 3rd as the Crimson Tide kick off the 2022 season against the Utah State Aggies on your home for Alabama football.
Listen to Alabama football all season long on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Chapman Commercial Realty, your source for Alabama commercial real estate. Chapman Commercial Realty has the experience and expertise you're looking for when making commercial real estate decisions. If it's office space, retail space, investment property, or project development, Chapman Commercial Realty is your answer. Call Bill Chapman today at 256-656-8413. That's 256-656-8413. Or find them online at ChapmanCommercialRealty.com.
Are you in the market for a recreational vehicle? Do you want to get out and see more of this beautiful country? Well, imagine hearing the laughter of your little ones enjoying gooey s'mores by a cozy campfire and making lasting memories with your friends and family from the comfort of a new camper. We can make your dreams come true at Hall's RV. With over 15 years in the camping business, we know how to get our customers into the perfect camper. We have several models and floor plans here for you to choose from, both new and used. We're family owned and operated with fantastic deals and great service. Everyone wants to work with people they can trust, so come on down to Hall's RV and get the deal of a lifetime. We'll treat you right and get you on the road in the camper of your dreams. Visit us on Highway 431 in Albertville. Hall's RVs, where we sell fun. Or see us on the web at www.hallsrvsales.com.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly cloudy sky this afternoon. Scattered showers and thunderstorms are going to be in the forecast through the majority of the afternoon, early into the evening. Some of those thunderstorms could be on the stronger end of the spectrum. Some heavy rain, gusty winds, certainly not out of the question, along with frequent thunder and lightning. Still, where it is dry, temperatures should be able to climb into the upper 80s. Some of us could see the lower 90s. Shower and thunderstorm activity is associated with a cold front. It's going to bring some much improved weather to the Tennessee Valley. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Listen to Buckhorn High School football all season long.
Landrum down near the goal line, and he's in for the Bucks touchdown.
On 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You got to love them Friday night lights. There is no doubt about that. The lights will turn on again Friday night, and we'll have 3 more games to sift through with Buckhorn, Randolph, and Madison Academy. So download the app, tune in to all of our coverage over the airwaves or on Zone 2, Zone 3, and our scoreboard show anchored by Scott Tyson that begins at 8:30 over on our sister station, The Blitz, before it transitions over to The Zone. But The Blitz will carry that full scoreboard show until it ends at 11. Well, we're starting to get more and more answers of how Auburn is going to look this fall after we saw the starting quarterback get the nod, at least initially, in the depth chart. And Nebias Wilborn is kind enough to join us from AL.com. We just lost Nebias Wilborn, so we are not talking to Nebias right this second. But certainly wanted to talk to Nebias about Zach Calzada. And Zach Calzada is someone who we have talked a great deal about, Wes, putting an impact on this team potentially, but not on the depth chart out of the gate.
Well, I mean, he's third-string quarterback. We'll see. You know, that was going to be my first question to Bias is basically, do you think all 3 quarterbacks will play, or what's your feeling with that? So, you know, I don't think the competition is over. And if you listen to him, he's saying it's not over either.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's no doubt that they think that they can win, you know, with TJ.
Yeah.
And so TJ was at LSU, and TJ was known not as a hard worker when he was at LSU. And so you hear now Coach praising TJ about how hard he's working.
Mm-hmm.
So the light might have gone off. That's the first indication.
Nebias, are you there, sir?
Yes, sir. We are here.
Good to catch up with you as always. And out of the gate, tell me what we can expect to potentially see out of Zach Calzada moving forward after TJ gets the starting nod. Did we lose him? You there, Nebias? He is not there. I just heard that phone click. Man, it's that sketchy phone service down on the plains. Wonder what kind of program he's on there.
We've improved recently.
We shall see. But there is no doubt the anchor of this offense is at the tailback position in Tank Bigsby. And frankly, haven't heard a whole lot, but I would imagine he has not really gone through the grind of a fall because you know what you have in Tank Bigsby.
Right.
Nebias, Third time's a charm? Okay.
Third time's a charm. Let's make it happen. All right.
Zach Calzada, do you know if we're going to see him this weekend?
I mean, he'll be on the sideline in a uniform, sure. In the game, I don't know. But I mean, right now, he's third on the depth chart. Now, in Auburn's best interest, the ideal would probably be get up early on Mercer. Hopefully, for them, if you're an Auburn fan, you hope TJ Finley comes out, maybe puts 3 or 4 drives together, where Auburn puts points on the board. You get to hear the Tiger Band play a few times. And then you get Finley in. He does the same. And then Calzada. But right now, he's starting on the depth chart. So I would say if you see him, it's going to be either really good for Auburn or some things went really wrong.
Is it strictly a health thing, or is he fully recovered 100%?
Well, that's the thing. Brian Harsin kind of hinted at the fact that he wasn't fully recovered from the shoulder injury that ironically he suffered playing against Auburn last year. And last year's Texas A&M 20-3 win overall. So it's kind of one of those weird situations where, you know, he transfers to Auburn, but he got injured against Auburn. So, you know, just life at Auburn sometimes. But he doesn't seem quite fully recovered, and it definitely has reflected in his performance, and he got passed by Finley and Ashford.
So I don't think it was a great secret because we talked about it in the spring, Tobias, about this potentially being the last year for both football coach and athletic director. But how much did Sunday, the announcement, the Sunday announcement was TJ Finley, was it not? And then Monday was Friday. It was Friday. You're right, it was Friday for the news dump. That's right. So timing-wise, did that surprise you that it happened when it did, Tobias?
The timing of it, yes. If you talk to people, they will say that Alan Green didn't fit the coach of Auburn. I still don't know what that quite means because you're saying the coach of Auburn doesn't like, you know, well-dressed Notre Dame alums with finance degrees who are former athletes. I don't know. You know, so I'm not sure what it is about Alan Green that doesn't fit, but that's what I keep hearing. And also, you know, hey, he kind of sealed his fate with hiring Brian Harsin. That's not who the powers to be wanted, or at least some of them. And it's been a thing when Harsin struggled. It definitely put Allen in a position where he's in the hot seat. And quite honestly, there are a lot of people who don't think that Brian Harsin is going to make it through this season. And they figure, why not go ahead and get out in front of getting rid of the athletic director whose contract would end at the end of July next year, 2023.
Well, it's obvious that they're getting rid of him because he's the guy behind Brian Harsin, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, you know, they basically fired the athletic director for being the athletic director and hiring who he wanted to hire.
And not giving the guy a chance at all.
Well, I mean, that's at least the way it looks. I mean, listen, for whatever reason, they wanted some other people. You go back onto the reports. You mentioned defensive coordinator Kevin Steele when Gus Malzahn was leaving, someone that people seem to be high on. For whatever reason, that didn't work out. Alan Green hired his own man, and unfortunately, Alan Green is paying the cost for that. You know, it's kind of hard for me because typically speaking, you hire an athletic director. You kind of want the athletic director. I mean, what is the responsibility of the athletic director? To hire and fire coaches, right? And Alan Green hired a coach that people seemingly don't like, and they struggle. I mean, I just can't help but wondering if they beat Alabama over here. You know, if they just hold on that game and beat Alabama, does any of this happen? Does February happen? All the events going all the way up until now. I mean, quite honestly, I don't think Auburn can be any more happy to get on the football field and hopefully win a game. They need to win bad, brother. It's been a while since Auburn has won when it comes to the football program.
Well, I can answer that. It wouldn't have happened. If he'd have beat Alabama, it wouldn't happen. I think anybody can answer that. But, you know, I think to me, they look so bad in the bowl game against Houston. They didn't look good at all.
That bowl game, you know, it's the Birmingham Bowl. Houston, I think, came into it with a lot more to play for, wanted to be an SEC school. They were ranked. Auburn had several players miss that game with injuries as well as COVID-related stuff. I mean, you had a lot of guys, third stringers playing minutes. A lot of guys sat out of that game who were going to go to the NFL. So I don't think that game in particular was a good representation of the Auburn football team from that year. But when you're already coming off, losses, you're going into your fifth straight loss, it all piles up and it just all looks bad. But even then, remember, Auburn had a fourth quarter lead in that game. In fact, all the games Auburn lost, they had fourth quarter lead. So it's not like they were just, this poo-poo team. They just had a lot of bad luck last year. Maybe for them the luck turns this year, but it hadn't gotten off to a good start yet, at least not public perception-wise.
At least what I've heard out there, talking with Nebias Wilborn from AL.com right now, is it a fact that at least what is being talked about happened, that Alan Green asked a few people on his contract extension that it was going to occur after the football season, and did that happen is where I'm going, Nebias.
I mean, what I will say is, I'm not sure which report you're referring to, so I will answer this very carefully. From what I had been told, and keep in mind, I had done 2 one-on-one features with Alan Green where we spoke on and off record. Alan has always told me that he wanted to be in Auburn. He saw a future there. And, I mean, let's be honest. Yeah, of course you're going to inquire on a contract. You don't have a contract, so I'm pretty sure he inquired on his contract. And from what I've been told, he didn't really get any definitive answers. And I think it all came to a head over last week. And also, I remember last week, you look at what happened with the school, a new building opened up, Jimmy Raines Center for Culinary Arts. Jimmy, of course, being a prominent booster and Board of Trustees member. Several people were in town leading up to it, and some say that also kind of brought it to a head,
So, who do you think has the odds-on favorite to be the new athletic director?
That's a good question. I mean, there's several candidates. I think Rich McGlynn, who is over compliance, could be someone. I know him and Bruce Pearl are close, and that could help him out. So, I mean, there's going to be a few people they're going to look at within the department, as well as UConn's current athletic director, who's also a former Auburn football player. So, they're going to look. I mean, I don't know if there's one particular candidate yet, but, I would imagine they want to make this decision at some point before the end of this season, so that if in case you have to hire a new football coach, you have someone in place to make the hire.
Back to the football squad, a lot has certainly been made about Tank Bigsby. What kind of fall did Tank have?
Well, I mean, he had a good fall. I mean, he's healthy. That's the most important part. He looks great. He's been running well. I think the main thing, you just need him upright and healthy, and I think he looks as good as he has. You got him, Jarquez Hunter, and the freshman, Amari Austin. Should be a pretty good little running back for them.
And Nick Brahms retiring as well. How big of a hit is that along the offensive line?
Well, I mean, he's your center. He's one of your most experienced players when it comes to starts. He is a guy who knows the offense pretty well and also just is comfortable in situation snapping. So we'll see if Tate Johnson can fill the gap. But, yeah, it's a big hit because he brings a lot of experience, a lot of know-how, and, you don't want your center gone, particularly when you have a quarterback that you may not be as certain about.
Well, there is no doubt there. What are you most interested in seeing, albeit against a quote-unquote cupcake on Saturday? What interests you the most as we sneak up to game one?
Mercer might be more of a bitter cupcake than people are thinking. I mean, look, I know it's FCS, but they scored 60 points in their first win and looked pretty good doing it, albeit against Morehead State. That being said, what I want to see from Auburn is, one, TJ Finley's command of the offense, how he handles live fire. Maybe he hadn't actually been hit, since last year. They don't really do that in practice anymore. So what does that look like the first time he takes a hit? Also, I want to see the offensive line with a new center. And then lastly, I want to see how good the defense is. Like, can they get Mercer off the field quickly, get turnovers, overall improvement from what Auburn was last year?
We shall see indeed. Nebias, appreciate the effort to get on time and time again, and we always enjoy the insight, sir.
Hey, anytime, man. Thank you guys so much.
That is Nebias Wilborn. You can read his stuff on AL.com. A lot going on down on the Plains.
Well, so I had a lot of calls Friday after this from a lot of my Auburn friends upset that this was going on because they actually liked the athletic director and thought he was a breath of fresh air. Obviously, the people in power, that he rubbed them the wrong way because they're used to being in power. And they're afraid that they're just going to, here goes the cycle.
Yeah.
So, I've been on record for a long time talking about how they all get pulled in the same direction and quit worrying about the other side of the state and just mow their own yard. They can win championships themselves in any sport.
There's a lot to sell at Auburn.
Yeah, there really is. But if you can't, you're all pulling in the different direction. I think with Gus Malzahn, they'd be in a lot better position. And the same people who didn't like Brian Harsin are the one that got rid of Malzahn. But they didn't get the guy they wanted to hire, who's the defensive coordinator now at Miami. You remember how that all went down.
Yes, I do.
So there you go.
Yes, I do. And there for about a New York minute, it looked like they were going to get their guy until...
I don't think it ever was.
You don't think so?
Because the athletic director was not on board. And I get why. I mean, it was a bad look. And the coups hardly ever work. One time it did work. They won, and Tennessee got a national championship out of it. But they're still paying the price for that.
And they're recovering ever since.
Yeah, right. They're still paying the price for that.
Although we'll find out how good Tennessee is. Incidentally,
Tennessee's going to be good.
Tennessee
will be great.
Tennessee plays tomorrow. Thursday. I'm getting a day ahead of myself. Tennessee plays on Thursday, and so does Missouri. The Missouri Tigers take on Louisiana Tech, and Tennessee takes on Ball State. First time in the history of those two programs that Muncie, Indiana takes on Knoxville, Tennessee. I did not know that. In fact, there's a little over 300 miles, 352 miles in between the two campuses, and they have not played a game of football until Thursday night.
Tennessee used to, one of their main places they recruited was Ohio. They got a lot of great players from that. And for them to be good again, they're going to have to do it again.
We're going to talk some more NFL and college football on the other side. Sean Salisbury is set to join us next as we're live here at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill.
To you, my love, my heart I surrender just as soon as I deal with yonder fender bender. 'Cause my ice cream truck is the way I make cash, so I'll buy you a ring when I lose this dress rash.
Owning a small business isn't always as lovely as it sounds, but at least Progressive Commercial saves you money with personalized discounts. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
I'm gonna make you so happy sometime next year, I hope.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Coverage and discounts not available for all vehicles or states. Policy terms and conditions apply.
What's better than Valley Equipment Rental? Two Valley Equipment Rentals, and that's just what we have now. The original on the South Memorial Parkway between Drake and Airport Road, and their second location on North Memorial Parkway just north of Winchester Road. Valley Equipment is locally owned and has more skid steers, excavators, and lifts than anyone in the area, plus all the small tools that you need to get the job done like a pro. And if you are a pro, you need to check out the new North location now because Valley Equipment has what you need. Learn more at valleyequipmentrents.com.
WCZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Steve Lennox. Day 2, night 2 of the U.S. Open in New York. Serena Williams won her first-round match Monday night, scheduled to play again on Wednesday. Venus Williams eliminated in their first-round match day, losing in straight sets to Allison Van Vanavek. Top seed Iga Swiatek able to advance, winning 6-3, 6-love in her first-round match today. ESPN tennis host Chris McKendry joined Canty and Carlin earlier on ESPN Radio. She had her thoughts on the reception that Serena received before and after her match Monday night.
Everybody wants to see her play one more time. Last week was Band Week at the U.S. Open, and the grounds are open. Everyone can come in, and people were packing her practices, just to see her hit one more time, or perhaps it's just to say, I saw Serena Williams play. She has been so many things to so many people, and she's done so much, sport and society. Everyone just wanted a glimpse.
Chris McKendry with Canty and Carlin. U.S. Open coverage continuing right now on ESPN TV. Just a short walk from the U.S. Open. Mets about to get underway with a series against the Dodgers. It's the first of a 3-game series at Citi Field. Dodgers right now 51 games over 500 at 89-38. They have the major's best record. Dodgers manager Dave Roberts said today that Clayton Kershaw is going to start the series finale on Thursday. Kershaw's not pitched since August 4th because of lower back pain. Bills cornerback Tre'Davious White placed on reserve pup list today. He will miss at least the first 4 games of the season as he continues to come back from a torn ACL.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
Even though Key's giving his unvarnished truth about Tua, I kind of feel like there's something there. Like, it does feel like he's hating a little bit on Tua to me.
Jay, never take sides against the family again.
This and more. Wednesday morning at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2. 97.7 ESPN The Zone. With Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. 256-576-4977.
That's how I roll. And I'm not going to drink and drive anymore.
That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Wes and Steve.
Let's jump directly out to the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, talk some football. Week 1 is upon us, and you can hear our next guest weekday mornings in the Houston area on Sports Talk 790 from 6 to 10. Weekday mornings. You can also follow him on Twitter at Sean Unfiltered. There is no doubt about that. He has got some opinions. As Sean Salisbury is kind enough to join us. How are you, sir?
Doing well, guys. How are you? Thank you.
Doing real well.
Sean, I've been waiting 3 months to ask you a question that I know you've been asking every interview, right?
Yep.
Were you shocked when USC went to the Big Ten?
Shocked, no, because of after we've seen transfer portal and name, image, and likeness, there's not a damn thing that shocks me about, college football or what's going on. It's never going to look. That doesn't make it bad or worse or better. It's never going to look like us three saw it or like our parents saw it or even just, quite frankly, somebody saw it a decade ago. This is different. But I don't know if shocked was the word, but when the initial thing came out, I thought, the sentimental part, I know that sounds kind of cheesy, but Pac-12, and when I was playing, it was the Pac-10, and when you played Michigan or Ohio State, it was on January 1st in the Rose Bowl, and all those things that go with that, the granddaddy and all the pageantry and the rest of it, and, the rivalry game across the way, even though UCLA going to, we'll still play them. It's going to be weird, though, playing in the Big Ten and driving 12 miles between schools, one to the Rose Bowl and one to the Coliseum. But once I got over the sentimental part, the truth of the matter is Big Ten's a better conference when it comes to better competition. When you talk about the money, it's not close. You're talking about 3 times more, and it's only going to grow. You talk about, nowadays, SC, and this is no disrespect to other programs, a 10 o'clock game in Tucson and then to Corvallis to play Oregon State where nobody else in the country is seeing it, or a noon game where you might go 3 weeks in a row depending on how it's aligned. You play Ohio State, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Iowa. Now I get to watch my Trojans at noon on Saturday. So after I got over the sentimental part, there's still parts of it that that bother you. It's like, man, the travel is going to be, all those schools are bunched, from the Midwest to Rutgers and the East Coast and Maryland, and then you got your Trojans and the Bruins out west. But it's not done. We're not done moving in the Pac-12 to whether it's the Big 12 or the Big 10, more schools. So I guess because of all the other stuff that's gone on, it wasn't overly surprising to me. Once I got over the sentimental, I actually kind of like the fact that we're going to be playing, quite frankly, better teams overall.
So, your opinion, who else do you think is the Big Ten going to pick up? What's going to happen to the rest of the teams in the Pac-12?
Well, I think you're going to, if it goes now, you're going to hear people say, well, we're closed, we don't want any more. But at some point, money is going to talk louder, I think. And unless the Pac-12 can find a way to keep up, I can visualize seeing Utah and Colorado and Arizona and Arizona State ended up in like the Big 12. I can picture if I was the Big 10, I'd want to go grab Oregon and, that to inquire about Stanford. Hell, if I was them, I'd try to do everything I could to get, Utah to the Big 10, although with the Big 12 and BYU and all that, it probably makes more sense. But you go and try to snatch Oregon, which is a dominant program. Maybe you think that you can steal Washington. I'd go after them, and I'd make it difficult. If I'm the other conferences, now, like I said, it bumps me out. I would have no problem staying in the Pac-12. But Larry Scott and the former commissioner, they put the Pac-12 in a bad way. And so I understand, and we're all about money. Name, image, and likeness, transfer portal, all of it. It's the bottom line like in all businesses. So I would imagine that you're going to hear about 4 or 6 more that are trying to leave, which means teams like Fresno State, San Jose State, maybe schools like that are going to pop into the Pac-12. Once you let go, somebody else is going to come in. So we'll see what happens with the ACC, because I think teams like Clemson and Florida State and Miami, I would imagine the SEC is going to try to land some of them too, North Carolina or a Kansas in the Big 12 to the Big 10. I don't think the free-for-all is done yet, and I would inquire if I was them. Why wouldn't you?
Talking with Sean Salisbury right now in the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Let's move a little closer to your neighborhood. Bigger expectations heading into this season. The Longhorns or the Aggies?
Oh, both, and for, I think, different reasons. Hell of a question. It's, if you like one, like you guys know about Alabama, Auburn, you don't like the other. I'm getting my master's from A&M yet. I worked a little bit in a camp with Quinn Ewers back when he was a freshman in high school, and Sarkisian and I have been, pretty good friends, at least known him for quite some time, and we talked through the transfer portal process. So I'm rooting for both, and where I'm living, they're kind of split down the middle, and then you mix in a little bit of Baylor as well, or even a lot of Baylor and LSU and Oklahoma too. So with this, I think the expectations are this. For Texas, they got to play better defense. Baylor, in my opinion, Oklahoma State are the best teams in the conference. So Texas has got to learn to get some stops and develop players. I think Sark's one of the great play callers in all of America. And he's got a guy now as good as some people he's had in the past. You saw with Mac Jones how Mac processed information and what he did. Sark's it's been a while since he's had a guy this gifted. I've seen a lot of them guys his age. That ball, he can flat out rip it. So he's a player now, and he's going to have to be a great player because there's a guy down there in Louisiana with the last name Manning who's coming down the pike. So you better play good to hold that job off. But Quinn can, and I'm rooting for him, and he's got as good a play caller as in the country to see him along. But you don't want it to where you have to have him make every play and Bijan Robinson, and you're winning, or losing 48-45. They've seen enough of that. But the expectations are huge, and they're tired of it. People think Sark's the guy to get it done. And A&M, obviously, and the Big 12 is easier. It's an easier path. It's not easy by any stretch, but it's easier than what A&M's going to have to go through. But when you get the number one recruiting class, people say of all time, and you've had this kind of the controversy and the back and forth with Nick this off season, and the expectations are no longer you win 8 or 9 games and okay, that's cool. The more you get paid, you're a $10 million coach and you got the number one recruiting class in the country. They ain't waiting at Kyle Field and College Station for A&M to just win 8 games 3 years in a row or 9 games. Their expectations are Final Four, national championship with money and with high recruiting classes, as Nick has answered the call. I get great recruits, and they get paid, and they go win national titles. And they get to the Final Four. It's almost a foregone conclusion because they're so good. Jimbo has to get to one of those. So while there's the pressure of not, he's got a safety net with all this, the job security with his contract, but the pressure grows with that. So the expectations are higher than they've been at Texas A&M since Johnny Manziel won a Heisman Trophy, and even bigger now because they got a whole bunch of 4- and 5-star players. So they go through the roof for Jimbo, and we'll see in both are quarterbacks that have not played a full season. in Haynes King and in Quinn Ewers. So you'll see one throw more, probably a little more innovative, but Jimbo's going to line up, and they're physical. And it's going to hinge on both quarterbacks, but in truth, they're going to have to get some stops on defense too. And it was a hell of a recruiting. The better rosters at A&M, the more explosive rosters probably at Texas, and both of them have an immense amount of pressure for different reasons.
Well, then let me ask you this way. When would you rather play Bama? Would it be Texas when Bama's just gotten through with one game, or in early October when you're starting to finally figure out your squad for Texas A&M on October the 8th?
Can I pass on both? If I'm an opponent, I'll say no thanks. You know what's amazing to me? That last year was a rebuilding year. You got the Heisman Trophy winner, and you were in the national title game, and we happen to be rebuilding. I think Nick's the best college coach I've ever seen, and his buddy Bill is the best NFL coach, and it doesn't fall far from the tree as far as how they go about the business. But, and I love the fact that Nick has changed his game to, used to be play defense, run the football, mix in the pass. Now it's get the five-star quarterback, turn it, even though it makes him cringe, I'm sure, at times when they're throwing it 40 times and winning different, but they're winning. And the ability to adapt and adjust is another thing that he doesn't probably get enough credit for, because we know how he wants to win, but he's willing to turn it over to these great coordinators and say, go get me points, but when it's 3rd and 1, you better hand it off to a guy it's about 240, the Derrick Henry types of the world. But I would rather play them when Texas is playing them, because they don't know enough about Quinn Ewers. You may catch them on the day. It's in Austin. This year it's in Austin. I believe A&M's in Tuscaloosa this year. It's in October. That's about the time Bryce and those guys are just hitting the ground running, and, cussed them out a few times after they only scored 50 against the team they're supposed to boat race, and Nick letting them know that they're not as good as they think they are. All those great things that he does. We know what Speech 101 is, and he's the best in the world at it. So I don't want him anytime. Like I said, I just as soon say, can we skip you if I'm an opponent? But and they'll say, oh, we want Alabama. No, you don't want Alabama. That's like saying when Ali was at his best, you want to fight Ali, and you're like the 180th ranked. Not that either one of these teams are. It's like you got no shot if they're playing their best. So, and plus, A&M last year, you're going to get them. A&M still have a chance, but they beat them last year. So, I would rather be Texas, and because they're going to be pissed at A&M, and Texas with a quarterback like that, you may catch them in one of those where if you can keep it close in the 4th quarter and you got a quarterback that can throw it, you may have a chance. And Sark knows this what Nick's trying to do as well as anybody in America. So I'd rather be Texas. I still like Alabama by a minimum of 2.5, 3 touchdowns in the game. But and against Texas A&M, I like Bama too. But I wouldn't want to deal with them 5 weeks or beyond, because they're only going to get better as the season goes on.
Where can Bryce Young get better as a quarterback?
Oh, I think it's simply he looked so poised and relaxed last year. I just think it's not to done. He doesn't need to be a hero. He was so good last year, and, it didn't work out in the end, got knocked around a little bit, but as good a defense as you'll see in college football in a long time. I just think guys, we forget. Last year was his first full year starting.
Yeah.
The guy hasn't had that much playing time. I mean, from high school, stood around and watched Mac play for the most part, played a little bit, and he comes in and takes the world by storm, and they kill it. But let's face facts. The guy has not played that much football. So it's just simply seeing coverage and getting to a point where things that may have looked foreign and he had to react, now the pre-snap read instead of just post-snap becomes easier. The more you see it, you start to anticipate on tape and how to watch tape. Oh, okay, I know this is what Georgia or A&M do on a regular basis. So you're out in front of it. Last year, it's just a smart guy who has high football IQ that's well coached and is a great football player. Now it becomes more precision-like, to where you can kill him with the big play and kill him throwing for 400 yards, but you get to dissect him even a different way and be more, not military, but surgical. And he was that at times, but now it's the pre-snap and post-snap together, which just comes with more snaps, and he's got them. I would be very careful. I was the team because playing against him, because I actually think, I don't know if the numbers will match, but he'll be a better football player this year because on the mental side, he will have seen more snaps.
finally, Sean, I did want to get at least one thought on the NFL spectrum of the absence of Tom Brady. What was your take of the timing? And yeah, because we certainly heard some insight to Tom the last time he met with the media, and I realized it was a personal issue. But what was your take on his break from the Bucs during this fall camp?
I know people are going to look at it. I don't look at it as diva-ish at all. If he was in his third year of the league, you may have a problem. Where he's like 40 years in the league. What's he, 23, 20? I think this is his 23rd year. I would think that in truth, I remember Dan Fouts told me years ago when I was a rookie in the league about working out in the off-season and going to camp. He goes, Sean, the arm's only got so many throws in it. John Hadel had told him that. And I thought, that's interesting. Because Dan didn't pick up a football until he went to training camp from like three-quarters of his career on. He never threw in the off-season. Well, Brady does, and we know that. I look at it the opposite way. He got 10 days of fresh legs. He's been through camp after camp. The team needs him. You get Blaine Gabbert, and Kyle Trask a little bit of work in case something happens. And you give Tom time to read whatever was going on, whether it's a vacation he needed to spend. He had let the team know it ahead of time. And he's right. At 45 years old, we all deal with some crap, man. It's life, marriage, whatever it is that mom. If mama wants you to take a vacation when you're retired and then you want to retire, you better take the damn vacation because you got to live with her a lot longer than you're going to play. So I get it. Whatever the reason is, Tom will work it out. I'm more concerned about the offensive line protecting him all year long. But if you think that Tom Brady's not going to have him ready to play, I would add, if you said take the over, 4,500 yards and 40 touchdowns, I'm taking the over still. So I didn't look at that big of a deal. Tom doesn't need – I wouldn't have played him anyway. So maybe the refresher of getting away from football for about 10 days during the middle of camp is not a bad thing. That's the way I'm looking at it for him. For whatever reason, it's going to be the mental and emotional thing that whatever he went through to come back. It's not going to be winning teammates over any of that because he never asked anybody to do anything he wouldn't. And his 23 years in the league, I have no problem with him stopping down. He didn't put the team in a bind. Plus, young guys need some work. He'll be fine, and it's just the mental stuff. And none of us really know the depth of what he was going through. But I can promise you on the opening day, if he's in uniform, which he will be, every year, every time somebody questions him and says, this isn't the year, or look what happened in the offseason, or Deflategate, or he's lost it, what happens, guys? That dude's got him in a Super Bowl or close. I'd be awfully careful to bury that team just yet.
Biggest problem is they lost their center and their guard.
Exactly right. The interior protection. Tom doesn't like people at his legs. You got to see he wants to be able to set his feet. So if they can somehow find a way to sew that up without Jensen and with Marpet retiring and another injury inside, that's going to be it. If their offensive line somehow turns it around and plays good, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers got a chance to be the 1 seed in the NFC. I think they could be that good.
Sean, thank you so much for the insight. And football is here, so let's just sit back and enjoy.
I can't wait. I'm pumped, and it's going to be a great weekend, and it's great to join you guys. Anytime, let me know. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Sean. Sean Salisbury. Such great insight and quarterback coach as well, quarterback mentor, and as well as
guy, really.
Earning that master's with Gig'em.
Yeah.
But it does not alter his opinion between Texas and Texas A&M.
Well, he's a USC guy.
Yeah,
all the way.
Through and through. We're going to take an early timeout here. Early final call for phone calls as we're live here at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill before we make way for some Braves baseball.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com. You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Do you know that your car or truck or SUV may be worth up to 30 or 40% more than it was last year? It's true. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, and now is the perfect time to trade in, trade up to a gold certified or blue certified pre-owned car, truck, SUV, or crossover. While our new vehicle inventory continues to build back, our Ford Blue Advantage certified pre-owned vehicles are nearing 100 models to choose from, and a good variety too. Woody Anderson Ford Gold certified vehicles are 6 years or younger with less than 80,000 miles and have passed 172-point inspection by factory certified technicians. They have a 14-day, 1,000-mile money-back guarantee, a great comprehensive limited warranty, 24-hour roadside assistance, and go home with full tank of gas and a fresh oil change. Get nearly a new ride and none of the worries. Woody Anderson Ford, Jordan Spartman. Hope to see you soon.
When I chose a garage door company, I did my homework. I needed precision overhead garage door service. They have a 5-star Google rating. I checked their reviews and liked what their customers had to say. Precision overhead garage door has lifetime warranty packages. Same-day service if I call before 2 p.m. If they can't make it the same day, my service call fee the next day is waived. They did a 25-point safety inspection on the door and operator. Now that's peace of mind. Residential, commercial, and gate services. Precision overhead garage door service. Call 256-400-4500.
Great food and the best live entertainment is what it's all about at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill. Head to downtown Huntsville every Tuesday for karaoke on the only outdoor karaoke stage in North Alabama. Thursday night is the Valley's longest running and biggest bike night. Food and drink specials, giveaways, and live music on the patio. And the Furniture Factory menu is fully loaded with options from steaks to salads, plus a whole lot more. Featuring a weekday happy hour that starts at 3. 619 Meridian Street, downtown Huntsville, and online at FurnitureFactoryBarGrill.com.
I'm here with Stan McDonald of the Stanton Law Firm. Stan, I guess you are the Stanton in the law firm.
Yes, Wes, that's me, and we started the Stanton Law Firm so that myself and 4 other attorneys with me can help clients litigate, negotiate, and creatively solve legal and real estate problems.
Now, Stan, you grew up on a family farm in this area and have made a name closing on houses and land with your closing company, Jacob Title.
I grew up on a farm which used to be in the country. That, plus having closed on so many homes and farms, one of my colleagues started referring to me as a classic dirt lawyer. Now, I didn't know how to take that at first, that tag, but I realized that's exactly what I do and what I am.
Stan, I know the attorneys at Stanton Law Firm are regular listeners, and we plan to have you on periodically. You and I have seen have impacted this community.
Stay tuned, and you may hear about friends like Steve Booker, Clarence Johnson, Thomas Boyd, and even a few of those offensive line hogs like Hoss Johnson, and maybe you remember some other of those guys too.
I remember Clarence Johnson. He beat us one year. He was unbelievable.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Sitting here with Mark Kent of Southern Fidelity Mortgage Group of Huntsville. Mark, do you help pre-qualify people?
We pre-qualify people all the time, Wes. As a matter of fact, I love having them coming in here because when they come in and they pre-qualify, they can leave my office knowing exactly how much they can buy and have no worries.
Mark, tell me about your rates and pricing.
Well, Wes, this is something we're really, really proud of. Long story short is I love being able to provide the best pricing in town. Honestly, I cannot tell you the last time I lost a deal to either rate or pricing, something I'm very proud of.
So what all financing options do you have, Mark?
We do several different things. If you're purchasing a home, we can handle the purchase. If you're wanting to refinance your home, of course, rates are at the lowest they've been in the last 3 years. We do a lot of refinancing. If you're building a home, we can handle the entire process from breaking ground to the final close.
Do you sleep with your phone?
Wes, if you want to reach me, you can call me at my office phone, which is 256-562-1000. But always remember, I sleep with my cell phone at night. That number is 256-656-5936.
Back here at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill. Final call for phone calls at 256-576-4977. There is wide speculation, even though Dan Lanning has not named a starting quarterback, but the speculation is that Bo Nix will be your starting quarterback for the Ducks. And Bo Nix all-time versus Georgia is 0-3. with a total QBR of 48, a completion percentage of 56%. He has been sacked 9 times, has thrown 1 touchdown pass and 2 picks, and has a total of 3 turnovers against the Dogs in his history.
Well, it's a team sport, so, I mean, trying to blame it all on him. I watched the games. One game, the Georgia people were beating them back there, and then Georgia's game plan was to run over Auburn, which is exactly what they did. So they're not all hit on him.
Yes.
I thought he played well.
Different O-line, different
tailback.
I
thought he played well in one of the games. It was ended up being close. But, yeah, we'll see. I mean, I don't think Oregon has they might stay with him a half, but, the only way they can beat Georgia.
I think it'll be a fourth quarter game.
Is if
dogs are young.
Yeah, if they make a lot of mistakes, they'll get beat.
In fact, to that point, Kirby
I don't know
Smart.
about anything about Oregon. I mean, just because Georgia's young,
Kirby Smart spoke about his defense.
Where are they right now? They're inexperienced, young, and hopefully talented as we think they are players. At some positions more talented than others, but they're in need of playing a game, and I guess you could say that's experience, right? So they're in need of experience, but more so than experience, they need to play in a game. They need good things to happen and reaffirm their good habits, and some of them need maybe something adverse to happen and see how they respond, because I've never coached a defensive player that didn't give up a play or get beat. So how are they going to respond to that in a game atmosphere? Because it happens every day in practice. But how are they going to respond to that in a game atmosphere? I don't know if we know that yet. And that's going to be the resiliency factor of where is this group? Because I don't think you really know until you go out in the game and have to execute it in front of the fans and against a really good opponent.
Georgia returns just 18% of its defensive production from a year ago. That is the lowest percentage in all of the FBS. Jim is on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. What do you say, Jim? How are you?
Hey, Steve. How you doing, man?
Doing well. How are you?
Oh, great. I was going to add a question for you and a question for Wes. I think Kirby answered some of them a minute ago here. I was concerned with your defense, but what about your special teams? What about your place kicker and punter? Do you return those, or what's the deal on that? And I'm speaking of Georgia.
Let me take a quick look at the two deep. I want to say some of the special teams is back for Georgia.
The place kicker and the punter especially.
Yes. Punter, I know, is back. Not 100% sure on place kicker, as the depth chart has not been up to date on where I usually snag said depth chart. But yes, special teams, I agree with you, Jim, play such a critical role early in a football season.
In every game, they play a critical role. Wait till you get a punt block.
They certainly do, and Kirby seemed to be, on his defense, he seemed to be a little apprehensive himself about it.
Yes, he is.
Well, I think it's because they're, he has to see what they're going to do in a game, right? I think they're talented, but if you run a trap up the middle, the linebacker goes the wrong way, that's a touchdown.
Yeah.
So that's what he's worried about, is them making mistakes that could cost them a game.
Yeah, that's true, but that's for everybody. You got to get in the game to play. But anyway, Wes, I had a question for you. What do you think about our new coach, I guess offensive line coach Wolford, and some of the changes we've had in the offensive line? Well, I guess Randolph going to play the left
our
side,
offensive line. Yeah, our offensive line in practice looked better than it looked like they're growing, right? They look like they should have about mid-season last year. I mean, they can improve a lot, and we'll see how they do when people start with all the blitzes. But Alabama was blitzing them pretty good. But when you play against the defense a lot, and the same for the offense, you kind of know what they're going to do based on alignment. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to watch. I think so far he gets 2 thumbs up with what he's done.
I agree, too, and I only had one other comment I was going to make, and I'm sure you guys are backed up here, but I called the Bullet and Barrel this morning, and I was looking for some help with a couple of single barrel and double barrel weapons I had. And I talked with Gerald over there. I don't know if you know him or not. And he gave me so much information. It was so helpful. I just want to give him a shout-out. And, wow, what a professional bunch over there.
It really is. I've bought several guns from them, and taking a lesson or two has helped me a bunch. Anyway, I highly recommend them. Good people. Also,
hey, thank you. Thank you so much. We appreciate y'all's time.
Thank you, Jim. Appreciate the phone call. Let's see if I can give you an early scoreboard update from Cobb County over in Georgia as the Braves and Rockies are squaring off, and it is bottom of the first, and it is scoreless between the Braves and Rockies. Maybe more importantly, a big tip of the cap to the Rockies on Sunday for beating the Mets, and now the Mets get ready to take on the Dodgers. Early score there, the Mets lead it over the Dodgers 1-0. Bottom of the first, the Mets have runners on first and third with 1 out, so a chance for the Mets to put up a serious number early over a team that is 50 games over 500 in the Los Angeles Dodgers. Let's go ahead and take our final timeout. We'll make way for Braves baseball. Max Fried is on the mound for the Braves tonight. We'll talk to you tomorrow.